Good morning, students. Today we will be discussing about Algebra 1. The topic will be Evaluate. Before we start with Evaluate, you should have some basic idea prior to learning this topic. First thing, if you are given 2x squared, what does it mean? It means 2 multiplied by x multiplied by x. What if it's 2x the whole square? Here it means the term 2x, which is inside the bracket, is getting multiplied twice. So can you see the difference? Here it's just x that's getting squared. Here it's 2x, the complete term, getting multiplied twice. What is the meaning of minus 7x? It means minus 7, or you say negative 7 multiplied by x. Now let me take you back to the lesson objective. Today we are going to evaluate the expressions for the values given. These are just level 1 questions, which is pretty easier. Now for questions 1 to 12, so I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. And you have a equal 3, c equals 2 and e equals 5. Now for the first question, the only variable that you see is a. All that you have to do is replace. So if you're asked to evaluate, it means they are asking you to find the value of. So this is the meaning of evaluate. You're going to find the value when each variable takes a particular number. Now here a is 3, so in place of, it is 3a minus 2. In place of a, you're going to replace this a with 3. So that's what you're going to do. So let me replace it. It becomes 3 multiplied by, now what is my a? My a is going to be 3 minus 2. Follow the BODMAS rule. What do you have? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 2, giving you the answer 7. Now looking at the second question, we have 4c plus e. Okay, you can see two variables here, c and e. Now what are we supposed to do? We have identified that we have c and e, the two variables in the question, and we know c is equal to 2 and e is equal to 5. So all that you do is replace c and e with the values given. So 4 is going to be multiplied with c is going to be 2 plus, what is the remaining part? We have e as 5. Sticking to the rule, we have 4 times 2, which is 8. 8 plus 5, which gives you 13. So this is level 1 questions. I would like you to try these two questions by yourself, and I'll be sharing the answers here. See whether you get them right. Okay, and let's move on to level 2. I'm taking the first one here. My question is, if x equals negative 3 and y equals 2, evaluate the following. Evaluate. Okay, I'm asked to find the value when x takes the value negative 3 and y equals 2. Taking question 41, negative 5 minus 2 x squared. So here my only variable is x. So I'm going to replace x with negative 3. Now I would like to tell you, whenever you have a negative term, it's always better to keep it inside the bracket. Okay, and square it. So my x is taken the value negative 3 here. See, x is replaced with negative 3. Moving further, minus 5 minus 2 minus 3 squared, which is negative 3 times negative 3, giving me a positive 9. So it's multiplied by 9, minus 5 minus, so negative 2 and 9 gives me an 18. My final answer will be negative 23. So this is how the calculation can be done without an error. Solving the next question. Let me take question 42. 10 minus 2x the whole squared. Now again, my variable here is x, so I'm supposed to replace x here. Let me do that. So 10 minus 2 is getting multiplied by, what is my x? My x is negative 3. So replacing x there with negative. Let me simplify it further. 10 minus, what is 2 multiplied by minus 3? It's going to be negative 6. So negative 6 is going to get squared. Okay, so find the answer for this term here and then square it. So 10 minus, again, negative 6 multiplied by negative 6 is going to be plus 36. So this is 36. 10 minus 36 giving me minus 26, which is my final answer. Now if you're using your calculator, it's much easier, but make sure you put appropriate brackets to make your calculations error-free. Now you can try the other questions. I'll be sharing the answers here so that you can just cross-check to make sure you're getting the right answers. Okay, let's go to the next level. Now we can see that for the below questions, A equals 4, B equals minus 2 and C equals minus 3. As we move on, the expressions given to you are getting more complex. Now here B square, I'll start with question 1. Now B square multiplied by 2A plus 3C is the expression given to you. And you have all three variables included. You have B, A and C. Now from the question, we are using the data given. You have B that need to be replaced with a negative 2. You have A that need to be replaced by a 4. And we have the C that need to be replaced by a minus 3. So let's do that carefully. Now B square, again a negative term. So I always prefer keeping a negative inside a bracket to make it error-free calculation. 2 multiplied by A is 4 plus I have 3 multiplied by, again a negative, yes, so C is negative 3 here. So as expected, I have replaced the values for B, I have replaced the value for A, and I have replaced the value for C. Now the common error that students do here is they get messed up with the values. Like they know A is 4, but maybe because they don't look carefully, in place of A they can put a negative 2 or in place of C. So these kind of misplacings can cause errors. So make sure you put the values correctly. Now you have negative 2 square giving you a 4 multiplied by, what is 2 multiplied by 4? 8 plus, 3 multiplied by a negative 3 is going to be a negative 9. Okay, so this is where you have a negative 9 coming in. Now 4 multiplied by, what is 8 minus 9? It's going to be minus 1. So your final answer is going to be minus 4. So that's how you do. Even if you're doing it in your calculator, make sure you put appropriate brackets for the negative values and do it carefully. Now I'm going to explain the second question here. It's 3C multiplied by A minus B minus C. Now you're going to replace A, B and C again with the given values. So let me replace it. 3 multiplied by negative 3, because C is going to be negative 3. Open the brackets. A is 4, so I'm replacing A with 4, minus, now B here is negative 2, so I'm going to open a bracket. Wherever I have a negative term, I make it a habit to put a bracket. Minus, so my B is fixed and my C is negative 3. Again, I have a negative value. I open the bracket, so that's it. My C is negative 3. Now, if you feel confused, this is the bracket that's already there. What is 3 times negative 3? It's going to be negative 9. Inside brackets, I have 4, and negative multiplied by a negative, it's going to be positive 2. Again, a negative and negative, it's going to be a plus 3 there. So I have negative 9 multiplied by 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 3, 9. My answer is minus 81. Moving on to a different pattern of questions now. Now in this question, you can see a square root given to you in the expression. So let's start substituting. A squared, so I keep the same brackets, a squared is 4 squared plus c is negative 3. So as I said, whenever you have a negative term, make it a habit to put a bracket. So negative 3 squared, which is going to be 4 squared plus negative 3 squared, which is going to be 16 plus 9, giving you a square root of 25. Now always remember, when you take the square root of 25, you cannot just write the positive 5 as the answer. You should have two answers, which is plus 5 or minus 5. You have two answers for this question. Why is it so? See, minus 5 square also gives you a 25, and plus 5 square also gives you a 25. So considering this condition, any perfect square that you take the square root, you have to consider both these answers. Now, this is another variety of question where you have two fractions involved. The replacement is just the same. You put the values for your variables. Minus 3 squared over b is negative 2 plus 4 times b is again minus 2 over a is 4. So what do you have here? Minus 3 squared is going to be 9 over negative 2. Plus, you have a 4 in the numerator and a 4 in the denominator, so you can just cancel them. And what is left is just a negative 2. So it's going to be negative 4.5 plus negative 2, which is going to be negative 6.5. Okay, both the terms are negative, so you just add them and put the same sign. This is your answer. Thank you.